When rescuers first met Penny, she could barely stand. Her legs trembled each time she tried to move, and then she'd collapse back onto the ground, too weak to hold her own weight. Still, even in that fragile state, she tried. Her eyes said everything: pain, exhaustion, and a quiet hope that someone would finally help her. It was early morning when they brought her to the vet. The team could see she had nerve damage in one of her back legs. There was no feeling from her hip down, and she dragged it when she moved. The vet explained they would have to wait a few days to see how bad it was. Maybe the nerves would recover, or maybe they wouldn't. But even with all that uncertainty, Penny stayed calm. She didn't cry or growl. She just watched everyone with trusting eyes, as if she knew they were trying to help. Despite her pain, Penny's gentle nature amazed everyone. She was patient with the doctors and wagged her tail whenever someone spoke to her. She had every reason to give up, yet she didn't. The team called her Pretty Penny, not just for her looks, but for her sweet and peaceful spirit. Over the next few days, Penny returned to the vet again and again for checkups and treatment. The vet started her on tablets to help stimulate her nerves, but deep down, they worried that her leg might not heal. "There's no feeling at all," one vet said softly. "It's possible the main nerve has been severed." That meant one thing: amputation might be the only option. But before she could undergo surgery, Penny needed to recover her strength. Her body was still weak, and her wounds needed time to heal. It would take at least a month before the operation could even be considered. So the team decided to focus on her comfort and nutrition, making sure she had everything she needed to rest and rebuild. Through it all, Penny never complained. She lay quietly on her blanket, watching the world around her. She didn't bark, didn't fuss, she simply waited. She became known as the calmest dog in the rescue center, always relaxed, always trusting. A few weeks later, there was finally a small improvement. Her energy returned. She wagged her tail more, ate her meals eagerly, and even lifted her head with pride when someone called her name. She couldn't use her leg yet, but her spirit was unbreakable. When the drains from her surgery site were finally removed, everyone celebrated. It was the first major step toward her full recovery. Her fur, once dull and rough, slowly started to shine again. She still smelled a little doggy, as her rescuer joked, but plans were already made to give her the bath she deserved. Penny's daily routine became simple but meaningful: medication, gentle cleaning, and lots of rest. She spent her days sunbathing, wagging her tail when visitors arrived, and showing her appreciation with quiet cuddles. Every time someone said her name, she looked up with those soft brown eyes that melted every heart in the room. The vet said her wound was healing beautifully. The green antiseptic spray helped, and soon she wouldn't need to come back for daily visits anymore. "She's doing great," the vet smiled. "Now she just needs to get strong enough for her next step." That next step would be big: the amputation. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was the only way to make sure Penny could live pain-free. Before scheduling it, they needed to check her blood and make sure her body was ready. The team promised her they'd only move forward when it was safe. Penny, of course, didn't understand the medical part. She just knew she was loved. Every gentle pat, every meal, every kind word reminded her that her life mattered. She began to show more emotion: little tail wags, quiet excitement when her caregivers arrived, and even a few happy barks when she saw familiar faces. Her rescuers loved her calm, loving personality. Even after all she'd been through, Penny trusted people completely. She never snapped, never got scared. She simply watched, listened, and loved in her quiet way. As her strength returned, everyone noticed something different about her. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was thriving. Her eyes sparkled again, her fur gleamed in the sunlight, and her gentle smile melted everyone's heart. She was finally feeling like herself. It would still take time before her surgery could happen, but Penny wasn't in a rush. She was happy just to be alive, happy to feel safe, warm, and cared for. And for the first time in a long time, she had people who wouldn't give up on her. Now when her rescuers walk into the room, Penny's tail starts wagging before they even say a word. She's always ready for attention, a treat, or just a soft, good girl. Her journey is far from over, but one thing is certain: she's already come farther than anyone thought possible. Penny's story isn't one of sadness, it's one of quiet strength. She reminds everyone who meets her that even when life is unfair, hope can still grow. Healing takes time, love, and patience, and Penny has all three surrounding her now. And when the day finally comes for her surgery, she won't face it alone. She'll walk, or maybe hop, into that next chapter surrounded by people who believe in her. Because to them, she isn't just a rescue dog, she's family. Pretty Penny has proven that beauty isn't about perfection, it's about resilience. It's about never giving up, even when life knocks you down. Even sharing Penny's story can help another animal find love.